Welcome to Teacher Mouse Studio D, I'm Kevin Delp. Today we're looking at the highest funded board games that launched on Kickstarter in 2017.
Number 10.
GKR Heavy Hitters raised about $935,000 with the help of 6,598 backers. GKR Heavy Hitters is for 2 to 4 players and plays in about 1 to 2 hours. It's set in the sports-crazy dystopian future of giant killer robots. You're gathering your squad of GKR's giant killer robots, building your deck and facing your rivals in the ultimate fight for fame, fortune, and sweet salvage rights. So it's interesting that Weta Workshop and Cryptozoic partnered together for this project. Weta Workshop is known for the great movies they produce, and even though they partnered with Cryptozoic, they still published this Kickstarter under their own name. Cryptozoic didn't even launch a Kickstarter in 2017. One more thing, this box is huge. People will be talking about this when it arrives on their doorsteps. Number 9. Resident Evil 2, the board game, raised about $1 million with the help from 7,583 backers and is published by Steamforged Games. This is a cooperative survival horror game for 1 to 4 players set in the Resident Evil universe. Players choose from a number of familiar characters before venturing into zombie-infested streets and buildings of Raccoon City in a desperate fight to escape the nightmare. Now, I believe this is the only game in the list that actually has a movie franchise behind it. And the interesting thing is that the Dark Souls game that Steamforged launched last year did way better, like $4 million better.
Number 8.
Star Realms Frontiers by White Wizard Games raised about $1.1 million with the help of 12,159 backers. Now, the original Star Realms is a fast-paced game of space battles that combines the fun of a deck-building game with the interactivity of a trading card game-style combat. The Frontiers is a new standalone Star Realms game with an 80-card trade deck and new scorecards that's suitable for play with up to 4 players. It can be combined with Star Realms and/or the Star Realms Colony Wars. So the original Star Realms raised about $51,000 with about 1,200 backers. The other thing is, this is the first game on the list that doesn't offer any miniatures, and even more than that, it's purely card-based. Number 7. Brass Lancashire and Birmingham from Roxley Game Laboratory raised $1.7 million with the help from 13,699 backers. Brass Lancashire is first published as Brass. It's an economic strategy game that tells a story of competing cotton entrepreneurs in Lancashire during the Industrial Revolution. Brass Birmingham is an economic strategy game sequel to this Martin Wallace 2007 masterpiece. So this is the first one on the list that I actually personally backed. Now, I've never played Brass, but it's ranked really well on the Board Game Geek website. I think it's around 30th. The other thing is, the campaign did really well, and it may have been because there were 2 games, Lancashire and Birmingham. Now, this is Roxley Game Laboratories. I think it's their 3rd Kickstarter. They've already published Santorini and Steampunk Rally.
Number 6.
Unstable Unicorns raised $1.8 million with the help from 33,720 backers. Unstable Unicorns is a game for 1 to 8 players. It's a strategic card game about everyone's 2 favorite things, destruction and unicorns. So this is the first campaign from the founder of T-Turtle. My wife may have like 8 different T-Turtle t-shirts. So they probably brought in a lot of backers from the T-Turtle business. There was 2 gameplay videos on their campaign page. I think those were the only 2 videos. They are kind of boring, but the art and the graphic design were really good. I'm not sure, but they might launch another campaign next year. We'll see. Number 5. Lord of Hellas raised $1.9 million with the help of 12,439 backers from Awaken Realms. This game is for 1 to 6 players. You enter the Dark Ages of Greece, ruled by mighty gods wielding advanced technology. Control asymmetric heroes and choose your path to victory, either by strategic control or adventure-style monster hunting and quests. Build majestic, multi-part monuments of gods on the board and unlock their mighty powers that will help you win and survive the raid of monsters. Now, this is Awaken Realms' 5th Kickstarter. One of the cool things that I liked in this game that I saw, where there was like miniatures, but then there was like miniatures. That's pretty cool.
Number 4.
Time of Legends Joan of Arc by Mythic Games raised $2.1 million with the help of 9,987 backers. Joan of Arc is a story-driven board game of cunning and skill and a little luck. The game is a combination of card play, resource management, and position on the board. Players take their role of the various factions in the war, or of some of the supernatural creatures that have emerged from the shadows. Each game is a unique scenario with its own map. This is Mythic Battle's first game that they brought to Kickstarter. They originally partnered with Monolith Games last year to bring Mythic Battles Pantheon. That was originally called Mythic Battles, which was a yellow game back in 2012. Anyway, the game did really well on Kickstarter. There's actually been some discussion about this on Jamie Stegmeier's blog, Kickstarter Lesson 237, how the use of the live Kickstarter video really helped this campaign out. Number 3, Gloomhaven 2nd Edition. Raised almost $4 million with 40,642 backers. Gloomhaven is for 1 to 4 players. Each player will take on the role of a wandering adventurer with their own special set of skills and their own reasons for traveling to this dark corner of the world. Players must work together to clear out the dungeons and forgotten ruins. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure book. Playing through a scenario is a cooperative affair where players will fight against automated monsters using an innovative card system to determine the order of play and what a player does on their turn. So this is the second printing of Gloomhaven. The first campaign that launched in 2015 raised about $386,000. Very good, with I think about 4,900 backers. Now, I personally helped or chipped in for one game for the second printing, and another game group also backed the game, so I'm actually a part of 2 different gaming groups for the second printing. Looking forward to that arriving on the doorstep and seeing how the story sort of unfolds in the different gaming groups.
Number 2.
Instead of dividing up all the CMON games that launched on Kickstarter in 2017, I decided to lump them all here in the numbers 2 spot. You'll see why in a second. World of Smog, Rise of Moloch, raised $1.1 million with 7,892 backers. It's a 1 versus many board game. You can play the campaign mode or just one-off games in the World of Smog universe. Song of Ice and Fire raised $1.6 million with 9,040 backers. It's a 2-player game where you can take control of the House of Stark or the House of Lannister. Rising Sun raised $4.2 million with the help of 31,262 backers. I personally backed this one. It's a spiritual successor in the same Mythic box series as Blood Rage. Same designer, same artist, same studio, same sculptors. It's a game of honor, negotiation, and warfare in feudal Japan where the ancient gods have returned to rebuild the empire. And Zombicide Green Horde raised $5 million with 27,236 backers. This sequel to the smash hit Zombicide Black Plague will bring players back into a world of deadly medieval fantasy, this time filled with infected orcs and goblins who will put survivors to the ultimate test, and is for 1 to 6 players. As you can see, if I didn't lump the CMON games into one category, they would have taken 4 of the 10 spots. It appears that their campaigns that they launch on Kickstarter are the ones with miniatures. Now, this makes sense because I'm sure it helps them gauge demand, build some hype, raise some capital. Now, I'm sure many people are looking forward to their next Kickstarter in 2018, which will be the board game Hate. Number 1. The reprint of 7th Continent. It raised over $7 million. 7 continents, $7 million. Pretty cool. With the help of 43,733 backers. It's for 1 to 4 players, and it says it plays 5 to 1,000 minutes. And I hope it lasts longer than 5 minutes since I backed this one. I love that it's co-op, choose-your-own-adventure exploration board game. You're trying to lift the terrible curse that has struck you since your return from the previous expedition. So like I said, I was one of the 43,000 backers that backed this game. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to back it, but I heard so many good things about it. And one of our gaming groups I'm a part of said, let's do it. So we all chipped in, we backed the game, and we're really looking forward to playing it. Right now, it's ranked around 40th on the BoardGameGeek.com website. I've never played it. Have you played it? Let me know in the comments if you played it. Let me know if you're going to play it. Let me know if you think it's going to rise the rankings, maybe hit the top 10 sometime in 2018. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know also in the comments if you've backed any of the games that I mentioned on the list.